Welcome back to this, well, not Let's Play of the Last Remnant. We're just watching the credits. I like to include this as a video. I mean, these people did a lot of work. Should probably give them some props. I don't know. Overall, just as a review of the game, there are many things they did right with the way they did the storytelling and the way they did some of the area design and the enemy design. But the very random drops and the just amount of tedious, well, you know, there's a chance you might get what you're looking for and there's a chance you might just have to keep reloading until you get it. It really kind of gets old after a while. So, I'm glad to say that I'm done with this LP. I usually get sort of into this game and I enjoy probably the first, 30 hours of playing it. And then, after a while, it just starts getting, it becomes more like work than a game. And it's very, if you've ever played an MMO, there's a lot of similarities. And the advantage to this over an MMO is that if you just want to quit and leave it, there's no guilt whatsoever. You're not letting your friends down. You're not, leaving people hanging. You're not abandoning the guild. And if you want to pick it up 2 months later, you can. There's not really all that much you're forgetting about what's going on. So you can just sort of come back to it once in a while. And you try to do that in an MMO, and you lose standing with your guild and all that. So this game kind of fills my desire to play an MMO, and then once I played it for a little while, I realized, no, I don't really want to play a real MMO. Mostly because, well, there's some character interaction as far as, humans on MMOs. But a lot of the MMOs, I've played World of Warcraft, I've played Final Fantasy XI, and a lot of it is just interacting with the game environment, doing things that tend to be kind of tedious, and, you eventually get there. But some of the rare drops, trying to get those in Final Fantasy XI is just one of the things that just turned me off to the game, because you could do the same thing 20 times and not make any progress. And that got really old, not really fast, but it did get old. And having done that, well, this game reminds me that I don't want to do that portion of an MMO. I suppose if I knew some people who were playing one, it might not be so bad, but yeah, come on. I do like the music, and they are coming to the music section here at the credits, and I do like the music of this game. It's very well done. Square Enix has a reputation of doing a good job with music in games, and it's something that a lot of Western developers just really fail to do. BioWare actually does fairly well with it. The Mass Effect series has a lot of very good music, but so many of the other ones, it's just you don't care about the music. It doesn't add to the experience. It's just sort of background noise. And I guess we're getting to the QA people, and I guess from a standpoint of technically, does the game work the way it's supposed to? Yeah, it does. I challenge some of the design decisions, but that's not a QA problem. Ratings section? I don't want to know. Publicity division? I bought this game at a Steam sale well after it was released. I think it was at 75% off at the time. It was just like, well, why not? Heck. I've liked a lot of other things that Square Enix has put out. This one is, I've been watching an LP of Final Fantasy XIII, and I'd rather play this game than Final Fantasy XIII. It has the same problems as far as the plot goes. It's sort of, who cares? But this one has more interesting mechanics, at least. All in all, I think this game has a rating on Metacritic of, 80, maybe. It's certainly not one of the best reviewed games out there, but it's certainly not a failure. It's much better than the 360 version. I've read sort of the description of the differences between the versions, and, wow. Having to play the game without turbo mode in battles would just make it really, really slow and tedious. It would almost unplayably so. If you added slowdown to that, oh my, no. I think the impression I've gotten is that if you played this on the 360, you hated it. The PC version still, well, it still has some problems, but they're just design choices that I disagree with. And, you know, when it comes down to games, when it comes to reviewing games, one of the things you have to look at is sort of, is it a design decision I disagree with, or did they just do it badly? In this game, for the most part, it's just design decisions that I think a lot of people disagree with, but, you know, they did what they set out to do. And that's the end of this LP, and the end of the credits. See you in my next video.
What do you think? I'm going back. They're waiting for me.
I don't know if that's only in the PC version, but you can do a New Game Plus. And I'm not going to do it for the LP. I'm not even going to explain it for the LP. You can read all about it on the wiki if you care. We're done!